Welcome to self-discoverywisdom.com, formerly known as Self-Discovery Media. On these podcasts, you're going to hear people who speak from the heart. They've taken the journey in life. Many things have happened to them, but they've changed it to happening for them. And in their strength, their courage, they've discovered their abilities and their wisdom, and they are now sharing it here with you. Do enjoy each show. We bring it to you with love and knowing that it's going to help you on your journey of life. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Sarah's View of Life, right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. I'm your host, Sarah Troy. I've been absent for a couple of weeks, unable to do shows because my daughter gave birth to a new son. I was down there doing grandma duty, looking after the 2-year-old, making sure he got to daycare, taking him to the hospital every day. And unfortunately, they were in the hospital for, I think it was close to 9 days. The little one who had a C-section and has Down syndrome. So they had a C-section to make it safer for the baby, and the doctors broke his poor little femur. And now he's in this awful brace that spreads his legs out, can't be bathed, can't wear half of his clothes. Very hard to feed and can only come up in an upright position with the head on the shoulders, can't cradle him. And we don't know how long this is going to go on for. They have to wait until mid-May to see the specialist to find out how the bone is knitting. So it's been kind of quite an up and down situation and the birth of this new beautiful child. But we're settling in. I am now home, catching up on shows, left Mama and Papa to it to get into the routine with the 2-year-old and the newborn. And the 2-year-old is doing so well, accepting his new brother. He's constantly touching him, saying he loves his Louis, and seems to have transitioned very much from Louis in Mummy's belly to here is Louis. And but also a little bit of competition there, like when Louis has milk, he wants milk and wants to get into the same cot that Louis is in, which is all quite natural. So now they have to navigate their way with 2 babies. My son-in-law has taken time off work so that he's there by the side of my daughter, and they're going to work it out together. And I'll be back down there in a couple of weeks to help out again and get my hugs and snuggles in with both of them, because it's very special being a grandmother. My 2-year-old, who's 25 months old now, grandson, little Roro, he and I have got a wonderful bond, and I can pack him up in the car and take him places, and we have our own little special language, and he's very, very good. Very good. Has his moments. It's a 2-year-old, They don't call it the terrible twos for nothing. Really at that challenging stage, I'm going to see how far I can push you and what does no really mean. And I had to haul him off to the hospital every day to go see Mummy and Daddy and the baby. And he handled it very, very well. We'll go for sushi afterwards, or fries and onion rings. It was desperate times. And now they're home together and settling in. So I obviously haven't been able to do any work, and it's quite amazing actually when you come back and you think you've got things set up to find this link broken and that link broken, and this has gone wrong and that's gone wrong. I'm only away a couple of weeks, but I'm busy trying to fix things right now, and it's quite frustrating because one of the things is that you can't get hold of anyone to discuss anything. And it makes it really frustrating, the fact that you can't do that. Gone are the days where you can actually talk to a person's voice, where they can guide you through something. Everything's done through chat now or email. And if it's chat, they're generally talking to 2 or 3 people at the same time. And you're sitting there waiting for them to come back. And it's annoying, greatly, hugely, bigly annoying, but has to be done if you want to get things resolved. So the next phase will be to get as many shows under my belt as I can before I go back to my little grandbabies. And that's the way it's going to be. I normally do 24 shows a month, and you're not going to get as many from me right now because of this. And being a parent and being a grandparent is really it's a gift, and it's just something, what are you working for? But your family. I love what I do, and I'm a very different person when I'm online doing these shows or talking to you now as who I am when I'm around my kids. Because with them, I'm mum. They don't see me as this. And that's something that I think most parents go through. Not many of our children really see us for who we really are. They see us for the way they need us. Um, or they see maybe the flaws and not the benefits. But it's that's their eyes, and they're going to choose to see you how they want to see you. And we can only be who we are, where we are, when we are, what we are doing. And if we're seen, we're seen, and if we're not, we're not. So I'm going to get as many shows to you as I quickly can, and I've already done one today and hope to have a few more lined up. Unfortunately, I couldn't line them up ahead of time because I didn't know when I would be free. So now scrambling to get those people who I said 24 hours notice to get them up here. And get you some great wisdom, get you some wonderful illuminating people that are truly changing lives, while I also go on the admin plane of trying to fix everything. The joys of. I do love what I do. I've been doing it 11 years, and June will be 10 years of my own network. I'm always evolving and changing names that kind of more suited to what it represents. Recently changed from self-discovery media to self-discovery wisdom. After all, it is the wisdom that we're sharing with you all the time. And meant a lot of changes that I had to do in the meantime, logos and changing it on every platform. And I've got a lot of platforms. But once it's done, I'll be happy, and it's still a work in process. I think one of the things that we need to understand in life is we have a vision for what we want to be done at a certain time in a certain way. And then we get on with it only to find that God is laughing and saying, no, it's not meant to be that way, or I'm going to slow you down here because you've got to redirect there. And whatever your intentions are in changing something, in creating something, in building something, don't let the things that push you back get in the way. Don't let the pauses or the downright come to a standstill stop you from moving forward. The standstill, maybe you just need to take some time out and come back at it with different eyes. The pause could be reflect on what you're doing at the moment. Is it right? And sometimes things just take much longer to do than you expected. And don't beat yourself up for it. I know people have always said, don't put anything out until it's perfect. And I fear that so many people then don't put anything out because they're looking for that perfection. And every time they have something that's right, they question themselves. And in questioning themselves, they panic and don't put it out. And I'm a person, I'll put things out, and if it needs to be fixed, I'll fix it. So you're going to see spelling errors and grammar and links not working and things like that. And I will get into fixing them as I go. So be patient or be kind when you see something that might be a spelling error or grammar or things in the wrong places. What I have found out is that you can put a link up and it works when you put it up, and then suddenly it doesn't work. And who knows what happens with that? The computer, does a cleanse, and all of a sudden all your links are broken. And it can be quite annoying. But if you ever do see anything like that on my site, something not working, I really would appreciate you dropping me a line, either in Facebook Messenger or, the bottom of the particular show, a commentary there, or even an email at selfdiscoverymedia.com. I'm using the media and the wisdom is for the show guests. And of course, if you wish to be a show guest and have something to share and you want others to learn from your lesson of life and what you're doing now, the skills that you have, the knowledge, the wisdom, the drive, the commitment, the purpose, and you want to share that out, please reach out to me at Self Discovery wisdom@gmail.com, self-discovery-wisdom@gmail.com, and we will set up a show. As I said, right now, it might be a little bit wonky, plonky in time, but we will put you on the list and make sure we get you heard. We learn best from other people, from people that have taken the journey. I've just done a show with Larry Goldsmith. We'll be out next week, at the same time as this. And he actually was a forensic guy in the courtroom, making sure that all the facts were right and in all of their cases. And he's taken that expertise and written 3 novels. Faction, basing it on facts, stories, but fictionalizing it as a storytelling. And all 3 of his books are absolutely, totally different. But the commonality they have, it's his due diligence to really researching and really looking at the facts and the details, then allowing, that is the foundation, then allowing the story to come through him and take him on that creative journey. And all 3 of his books are quite fascinating and different and being sparked from a different place in his life. So, please check out the show here, Larry Goldsmith, and all his books and the show and his writing. We kind of went off on a tangent on the 60s and protesting and all sorts of things. So we really had a conversation there. I'm trying to bring more platforms to you, which you can listen. There's a lot of platforms out there. Not everybody wants to be Apple, although it's still #1. I'm on podcast and iHeart and Amazon and Spotify and numerous others. Of course, YouTube and Odyssey, and of course I'm on the Everyday Women's Network as well, and I've got to busily upload shows there too. So I'm a one woman wearing all the hats, and I'm trying to do everything I can, the best I can. I do everything by donation. I'm sorry, I have to say this. You support me doing the work. I'll have to say the well is pretty empty at the present moment and needs rejuvenation so that I can continue to pay for everything to bring you these stories and these shows. But I do it from my heart and my soul. I discovered this 11 years ago and fell in love with listening to people's stories and journeys and being so illuminated by who they are today, despite what they've gone through and their purpose and their drive and what they've learned and what they want to share with others. It's really exuberant. It truly is. So I put out a little plea when my grandson was born, and I have had so many people, more than I can count, send blessings and for his quick recovery. And they amount to over 300 or 400 now collectively. And I thank you. I thank all of you for doing that, because I do believe in the power of prayer. I do believe in that ability to send out that positive vibration, that positive energy, and how it feeds and supports. And touch wood, plonk, plonk my head, the little one seems to be doing very well on all other areas that we know of for now. And it's just his little leg and hip that need to be fixed. Yes, he's had people say you got to sue the doctor. Apparently it's 1 in 10,000 chance of this happening. Could they have been more careful? That was the whole reason why she had a C-section. The child was breech. But right now, all they're concentrating on is getting their little son well, adjusting to the life of 2 children, and navigating those feeds every 2 hours. Do you remember that, if any of you were mums? And unable to breastfeed because she cannot hold him in her arms in that way. So it's poor girl pumping to put along with the formula so that he's getting mama's nutrition. And it's a little sad because, you can't bathe your baby, you can't put it in all the new clothes that it's been given, and you can't feed and hold your child in that way. Although I've spent a lot of time with him just here on my chest and his little head and my neck. And of course the legs are spread out wide in this vice to hold his leg in position, and just hold this little one to my chest. Is there anything better than holding a child to your chest and just holding that child and loving that child? Absolutely wonderful. I'm a huge advocate for love, as you know, if you've listened to any of my shows before. I believe love is a higher vibration. It is the vibration of God, of the divine, of the universe, of the wisdom. And that when we come from that place of love, we see creativity, we see solutions, and we see each other in the way we're meant to see each other. So this is just a quick one right now, just to fill in and give you an update of what's going on. And I will have many more shows for you in the future. Just give me a bit of time to catch up. And of course, if you have somebody, as I said, that you feel their story needs to be told, or they have an incredible program that's made a difference, or they're an author with a new book, or there's somebody that's gone through something that was so hard or struggling, that now they're on the other side of it and they want to share that how they got through it with others. So if you know of any of these people, and if you look at my site, selfdiscoverywisdom.com, and you go to the tag at the top that says podcast, you will see all the podcast genres I have there, a lot of them. So it could be mental health, it could be children, could be veterans, could be music, it could be business, it could be sensuality, it could be authors. It could be around mental illness, or our health is our choice. There's so many things there. Our addictions, a lot of titles there for you folks. And if you feel, yes, this person would be right for that genre, then, as I said, send them along, selfdiscoverywisdom@gmail.com. And I would love to interview them. My interviews, as I said, I do by donation. But the other thing is, they have to come from a place of their own truth. It has to come from a place of the heart. This isn't all about self-promotion and look how wonderful I am. This is about, this knowledge will help somebody else in life. And it's about paying it forward. It's about sharing that wisdom that's going to ignite someone else and put them on the right path, or just feel supported or feel loved or feel cared for. So it's people that come from the heart, that are doing what they're doing because they found their meaningful purpose, and now they need to share it with as many people as they can. And that is what self-discovery wisdom is all about, sharing that wisdom. There's over 3,000 shows here for you folks, and many, 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 God, how much wisdom here that is being shared on whatever genre you're looking for. So I'm very honored to be doing the work that I'm doing, with people trusting me with their stories. I'm at home doing what I'm doing because I found my instrument and I found my meaningful purpose. And I had tried to do it in so many other ways, and it worked for a while, or this was always a struggle behind it. And with this, it's just so easy for me to talk to someone, whether it's a prince from India who's gay and all the ostracization that he's gone through, or whether it's somebody talking about their addictions and having the gun under their pillow. And it all started off with this, just them being on oxy for an illness or an injury, and then becoming an addict, and then literally having the gun and becoming a dealer, and how it led them down that path and how they came back from it. A criminal who was one of the most wanted people in England, and how he's completely turned his life around and serving so many other people now. People who have been through abuse. And when I say abuse, there isn't a strong enough word to the abuse that these people have been through, yet they chose to go through it, come out the other end, be stronger, be wiser, and come with that meaningful purpose to help other people on their journeys. And I take my hat off to them, because wow, they could have laid down and died. They could have been angry and vengeful. Instead, they went through that process of healing, and who they've become today is just exemplary. It's just incredible. And I have these people right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. So please do listen. And if you go to the orchardofwisdom.org, you're going to find my mentors. Those are the people I have interviewed, and now they have a mentorship where they are sharing their skills. And that is more on the business side of the services that they offer. And you'll find that under mentors and practitioners. And of course, and the books that are coming. I'm busy editing mine, and then I will be in the second half of the year going into the Forgotten Children series book, and get going with that. So a lot on my plate right now. I'm trying to juggle everything. Wish I had a team, but I am the team. But I will get there because it's meaningful to me to bring you all of this, to enlighten you, to inspire you, to invite you, to collaborate with you, to support you, to care for you, to celebrate you. This is what it's all about. And this is what I love doing. So everyone, have a great week. I'll see you next week. And here's to podcasting before diaper changing. Take care, everyone. Bye for now. Welcome to selfdiscoverywisdom.com, formerly known as Self-Discovery Media. On these podcasts, you're going to hear people who speak from the heart. They've taken the journey in life. Many things have happened to them, but they've changed it to happening for them. And in their strength, their courage, they've discovered their abilities and their wisdom, and they are now sharing it here with you. Do enjoy each show. We bring it to you with love and knowing that it's going to help you on your journey of life.